can travel the world to find yourself. But that journey must start at home.
Valley are going to M4!
Because you can't know who you are without remembering your past experiences.
Basic is returning to Asia for his redemption. The BTK trio wants to prove M3 wasn't just a fluke, and Hoon looking to win back his fans.
I got basically kicked, but they still call me traitor for, I don't know, for pursuing my dream.
I thought living that comfort zone and then try new things was a better way for me to pursue the win.
We're coming and we're gonna compete. We're gonna put a fight, that's for sure.
I'm coming for you, M4.
This is what we have all been waiting for.
You push us, we push you back. You respect us, we respect you back. You doubt us, we will bleed to prove you wrong.
Everything on the line, right here, right now.
Definitely, they're not underestimating us as much as they did in M3. People probably see us and take us more seriously now, especially considering our accomplishment back then.
I want to be the first in the world. I want to win a world championship. And the only way to really do that is day in and day out. There's no relaxing. You have to keep going.
Here comes the Valley.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They been talking to me on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now, made it now. You can't ever break us down, break us down. I'll be speechless for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not, and I'll never ever stop. Won't never stop, yeah.
Touch the sky, you're a man of silver. Touch the sky, you're the greatest, don't you know? You and I can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it our eyes and we are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, you take your aim, you know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times, I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me and telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I cut the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it burn. Don't let me down, don't let it off. I've been on the road, accomplished all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch the sky, you're a man of silver and gold. Touch the sky, you're the greatest, don't you know? You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it our eyes and we are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, pick your aim, you know that this is
coming for the game, cause we ready for the victory.
The sky is so vast, isn't it? My little flare.
Papa? Can you reach the sky and ignite the stars?
Of course, Honey Bunch.
Papa never returned home. He's among the stars now. But what about me?
Have faith, little flare.
Now this is a wonder to behold.
Time. Oh, it's time to make the most of the moment. I'm Hoon, I'm milling for the valley, and I'm ready.
I graduated high school a few months ago. Yeah. We dare to be great.
Dude, that's perfect. One more second.
Hello, my name is Fly Chicken. I'm XP Lane from the Valley. Let's go.
Hey, it's basic. Again.
Right, I like that.
We dare.
And action.
We dare to improve. Hey, it's basic. Coordinator for the Valley. Let's go.
Say hi. Hi.
3 wasn't good enough.
There you go. One more time.
3 wasn't good enough.
One more time. You got a better one again.
Hi, I'm Sharp. I'm like son for the valley. Let's go.
You see my chapped lips on the camera? Like here a little bit? Don't disrespect the US of A. One more. Hi, I'm Moba Zane, Jungle for the Valley, and we're ready.
I want to fight Yahweh from the Eagle team for Philippines.
Definitely RRQ. They've done so much for Mobile Legends, and you could tell just by the amount of fans that they have. They've also been so driven. I mean, they've been in Mobile Legends for years and years and years, and they've always been pretty good. They've always, even when they weren't doing as well, even in this MPL, they bounced back in the second half of the season. And I have a lot of respect for them. They brought a lot for Mobile Legends. And in the Philippines, it probably Blacklist, because they're actually the first team that, even after winning a World Cup, they just stayed driven, stayed focused, and now they're on their way to having a chance of getting their second World Cup win.
You can travel the world to find yourself. But that journey must start at home.
Valley are going to M4!
Because you can't know who you are without remembering your past experiences.
Basic is returning to Asia for his redemption. The BTK trio wants to prove M3 wasn't just a fluke, and Hoon looking to win back his fans.
I got basically kicked, but they still call me traitor for, I don't know, for pursuing my dream.
I thought living that comfort zone and then try new things was a better way for me to pursue the win.
We're coming and we're gonna compete. We're gonna put a fight, that's for sure.
I'm coming for you, M4.
This is what we have all been waiting for.
You push us, we push you back. You respect us, we respect you back. You doubt us, we will bleed to prove you wrong.
Everything on the line right here, right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of the Dawn. We are the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy, and today is scheduled scrims. That's right. We have a bunch of teams ready to compete in best of 3 series. A little bit of a look at today's schedule. Series 1, Dark Immortals versus Team Saint. Series 2, D-Gods versus Avalanche. The third series of the day will be Team Chubby versus Nefarious. And then today, we're doing a special edition with the 4th series with Team Saphicon versus Idyllics. Super excited to see these teams compete. Speaking of competition, Dark Immortals and Team Saint already on the way, done with the draft. We're going to jump straight into the game. I am Wheezy. I'll be on the play-by-play today, joined over there by Coach Deku on the on-point analysis. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, and tonight's a special one, isn't it? Like you said, we have the extended schedule with that 4th match. But speaking of special here, I don't know if you noticed at the completion of these drafts, but that's a floor and jungle coming out from the side of Dark Immortals there, which is going to be very strange, I guess is one way to put it. Something very new. That's a lot of utility coming out from them, actually. 2 of those supports and then a tank as well. Will it prevail? Yet to tell, but we are going to be heading into the match now as it has loaded in. And Wheezy, now that we can see them before they can hit these lanes and before too much action can go along, who are you kind of siding with in between these 2 new teams and new picks out here?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to go into the favor of Team Saint, just because I feel like there's just a little too much support and not a lot of damage in that department. You're putting a lot into the hands of Benedetta and Carry to kind of get that job done, and I feel like it's a more balanced composition. Not to mention, the side of Team Saints has this Martis on the jungle. We know how well Martis can kind of go in for these neutral objectives, for the turtles, for the lords, able to use those mortar coils for anti-CC and then pile on with the damage and then secure those kills with the decimation. So I don't know. I'm really questioning the Florian jungle, and I don't think I'll ever say a Florian jungle will beat a Martis jungle, but maybe I might bite my words today for the side of Dark Immortals. But possible clash on the way. You are seeing the teams trying to possibly fight it out. Vader can't XP over there, going against Jay. That Benedetta rushing in, able to escape with his mobility though. But I don't know, man. I really want to see what iPost's plan is on this Florian jungle.
And I mean, right now he's getting it going as he is currently double creeping right now on that red buff. But I will say, I can't really speak too much about Floor and Jungle individually, but I will say, as far as the utility that they have between the Cult Altar, the Bloom effect, and that Lantern coming in from Florent as well with the Kufa there, to be able to counter out some of the dashes coming out from the side of Team Saint. They do have a lot going for them as we do go into the team fights early on. I do believe they have to play a little safe. There is a Martis on board. There's a Cho as well that can kind of get those pickoffs going on nice and early. But once we transition more to like those team fight setups and those neutrals and all that, I do believe Dark Immortals can have the edge. I think it's really going to come down to Jay on that Benedetta. If he's able to secure some backline activity on Hanako on that Eve, if you can get rid of that Eve and get rid of that high ground utility, I feel like they edge out, because Estes definitely cannot keep up with the Cult Altar and Bloom. But speaking of keeping up there, kill off screen, but now the Turtle contest.
Turtle does go into the hands of Florian on the jungle, forcing Martis on the retreat. Also, you did see a kill on the bottom side into the hands of Beatrix on Mike, taking down their marksman Sensei Gi on the carry. Now, funny situation, right? Like you said, a double support into the hands of Dark Immortals right now. Running that Florian jungle, Rock Bomb over there running this mid lane mage Faramis. But looking at the side of Team Saint, it's going to be a battle of sustainability, right? Elusive is running this Estes, you know, the blessing of the moon goddess. And the question is, who will be able to out-sustain? Like you said, a lot of utility on the side of Dark Immortals, but they are lacking in the damage department. Maybe Soy over there with this Kufra, possibly having that as an answer to get to the back line, get to Hanako on this Eve when that manipulation goes down. Because if he can't get back there, now you're going to have to rely on Benedetta to possibly do it. If not, you're going to see a really good game for the side of Hanako.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, speaking of adding that utility, but a little bit of damage here.
Possible kill on the way. Manipulation, speaking of Eve, Hanako getting a kill on to Kufra. Down goes Soy. You do see Rock Baba taking out Mike. 2 members down already for the side of Team Saint. You do see Jay getting a kill as well. It's going to go ahead and secure that kill on to St. Lauren. But wait a minute. Sensei chasing down with the speed of light wheels is going to go ahead and take down another member. Down goes Hanako, but then falls himself for a trade. But speaking of trades, Cold Alter activated 2v1 situation as you are seeing Vader Can XP trying to take down iPost and Rock Bomba, but deciding to disengage. And now we're sitting at 3-3 for both sides.
Sitting at 3-3, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to come into play so early, but the support, the double support right now, being able to keep these fights prolonged is definitely working out in their favor. If anything's their favor, Carry has picked up a kill, died twice, but did find something there in that bot side. A little assistance with that lantern coming in from Florin there. But speaking of things coming into assistance, I am seeing Hanako's building into that Ice Queen wand first. So gonna skip the traditional book route. Did pick up the demon boots though, to go ahead and compensate for not getting Enchanted Talisman for that extra mana regen. I'm gonna go straight for that Ice Queen wand, but will that be enough utility to match up against Dark Immortals as they are starting to group up around this turtle here? And right now we can see it does look like Team Saint is being engaged on.
For winding up, Tyrant's Race for a triple set on the Team Saint. Blessing of the Moon Goddess for some sustainability, keeping Team Saint alive, and they are going to try and go back. You do see Execution. Jay going to go ahead and secure that kill onto Hanako, onto that back line. Eve, and able to get out as well. But man, oh man, these teams are clashing it out. Co-Alter activated as well by Fairness on Rock Bomba, but St. Laurent using the Decimation is going to go ahead and take him down. Fight not over though, as you are seeing Decimation still in effect, and St. Laurent is going for a possible double kill, but wait a minute! Mortal Core, a little bit of displacement onto the wall, and Sensei Gi takes the turtle. Jay taking St. Laurent, and that's just a little bit of a miscalculation on his macro right there, and that allowed them to secure that kill and also secure that neutral objective. But wait.
And they're playing...
Elusive. You think he's gonna get it? Possible
Maybe,
steal.
I don't know. Looks like Floyd's gonna go ahead and zone him. He's gonna keep him off there, but this is crazy now. Florin has secured two of the turtles here. The first turtle for the spot of Dark Immortals hasn't lost a neutral yet. But I think that just speaks, like I said, the team fights, man. Dark Immortals really has the edge there. Even though you would like to imagine that Martis and company would be able to make something happen in the early game, but Dark Immortals playing to the win condition, staying very grouped up, haven't broke formation very often, and Jay has performed exactly what we were talking about. I said he needs to be able to get into that back line and find that even. He did do that. Speaking of finding things here,
you do see a possible set. Magic Ball going out by Cooper, trying to stop St. Laurent using the Mortal Coils for some anti-CC. Since again getting a kill onto Mike. Down goes Beatrix into the hands of Carry. You are seeing the manipulation for a little bit of zonage, but Vader can XP, wait a minute, on the Cho, the way of the dragon into the turret, forcing out the Co-Alter to save him. You see Ipos getting killed onto Vader. That overextension from that Cho to try and dive and get the way of the dragon into the turret was too costly. And that is 2 members down for the side of Team Saint. Not only 2 members down, but Dark Immortals taking the tier 3 tower in the mid lane, and they're just claiming these towers left and right. They already took the tier 3 on the bottom side as well.
Yeah, and right now, man, you can see it, the innovation here that they're doing with these comps. Speaking innovation, Sensei making light work of the Martyrs there. That true damage definitely going to beat out the damage reduction from those mortal kills. And St. Laurent not having a great game, 1-3 right now in the first 7 minutes of the match, which is really Martis' playground time to be able to have some fun. And with that being said, as this game is dragging on and moving on and on, as we move over to about that mid game, as these teams starting to group up a little bit more, he's going to have an even harder time to find anything. But speaking of finding things, I did notice we've seen some core items get picked up. Carrie did find that Demon Hunter Sword, Clock of Destiny, being picked up by Rock Bomba here on the Faram. So going to add to some of that ability here. But speaking of abilities,
you already see the teams trying to clash it out, but Jay using the mobility over there on the Benedetta, able to escape. That was almost a bad situation. That was a full 5-man of Team Saint, not the fight you want to take.
Definitely not the fight you want to take, but if you're the side of Dark Immortals, definitely a lot of things being taken as they are up now 4-1 as far as towers go, and also up 2,000 in the gold department. JPN with that Dom Ice to go ahead and cancel out some of that sustainability that's little bit that Team Saint does have with the essence, with that Moonlight, a blessing. Gonna go ahead and start cutting that anti-heal, and that's gonna be tough up against Dark Immortals, man. With that Cult Ultra and that Bloom, we've seen it already in these fights. Team Saint having a hard time being able to burst out these members early, but speaking of burst out,
we do see a possible set on Vader Can XP, forcing out the manipulation, trying to secure the kill, but wait a minute, the 4-member stun Cult Ultra activate the dive into the tower. Rock Bomb getting kill on to Choa, double kill, taking out Mike, the Beatrix a triple kill, taking out Hanako, down goes Eve. Elusive getting a kill on to Kufra in the process, though, for a little bit of an answer. And now a double kill by Elusive, gonna go ahead and take out Soy 2 on this Kufra and Jay on the Benedetta, but you did see St. Laurent fall in that process, and man, oh man, what is going on today? We're seeing an Estes getting double kills. We're just seeing so much from both sides on these engagements. Even, what was that, Rock Bombo with a triple?
Definitely a triple assisted, right? Facilitated by that 4-man set from Soy2 on this Kufra. Mikasa and Sukasa, he says, he's taking down Team Saint and invading all of their space and setting up some beautiful plays for Dark Immortals. And speaking of beautiful, isn't this quite the story? Dark Immortals, one of the teams, right? One of the OG teams, one of the first teams in MLSA. Kind of started out shaky, but it seems like this week and in recent weeks, they've kind of found their mark. Speaking of finding the mark here.
Juicy Kufra winding up, getting the Tyrant's Rage, blessing the Moon Goddess inside of the manipulation over there by Eve on Hanako, trying to immobilize Soy, get the kill on Kufra. Alter activated for a little bit of HP, some sustainability. Jay rushing in. He's going to go ahead and get a kill onto Vader, but you are seeing Soy 2 fall in that process. A 1-for-1 trade, and both teams deciding to disengage.
And even trade there in that little skirmish in the top side, but not even over the course of the game, as now Dark Immortals has increased that gold lead up to 4K, 13-7, almost doubling on the kills. But speaking of doubling, we are seeing Carrie picking up, does have the golden staff to be able to add on to that passive of hers, quickly unlocking it with that swift passive, and then the Wind of Nature. So a lot of security coming in now. Was 1-2 and 1, I believe, and now it's turned the narrative 3-2 and 4, starting to get on line a little bit. But we got to speak about it. Florin is currently 2-0-10 on this jungler Florin, the core Florin. This is insane. But speaking of insane, we are seeing the build up to this Lord. It's like Team Saint might go for the contest.
Looks like they are going to do this dance, the Battle of the Lord. And it looks like Sensei Gi able to get it with the speedy light wheels on that carry. Speaking of St. Laurent, looking at take some serious damage. Rock Bomba able to get that kill. And now you're seeing Team Saint on the retreat. They lost a lot of towers, and they also lost this neutral objective. And right now, I'm honestly shaking my head and wondering how they're able to pull this off. Hypos on the Florian Jungle, 2-0-11, amazing KDA. Over on Amartis. And not something you traditionally see, and not the easiest thing to pull off. And we have to give kudos over there to Dark Immortals today.
Definitely have to get kudos, but are we seeing a trend maybe from the side of Dark Immortals? Last week it was a Raphaelia jungle, and at first, you know, I was like, might have been a little bit of a fluke, might have been a little bit of memeing, a little trolling. You know, we've seen that come from other teams like Wavo with those unorthodox picks, but no, they're repeating it. Florin jungle, and it's really profiting. Speaking of profit,
Kufra with the double set on the tower's face. Sensei taking out Hanako, the mage, for the side of Team Saint. That is 1 member down for this engagement. Lord crashing in on the top side for the inhibitor, and the question is, can Team Saint stop the side of Dark Immortals from the early finish? Wait a minute, Jay taking some damage over there to Vader. Can't mage over there on the Cho. He's gonna go ahead and use the G-Kondo. The way the dragon connects, elusive securing the kill. Down goes Benedetta for Jay. Look at the inhibitor though, barely hanging in there. You do see Sensei taking down the mid inhibitor in that process, and they decide to still engage. Rock Bomb on the Faramis getting the kill onto the jungle, onto St. Laurent on this Martis, and now that is opening up more and more of the map, more and more for an early finish for the side of Dark Immortals. But Kufra, Soy is gonna rush in for another possible set, unable to hit the mark though. And man, oh man, the over-aggression right now from the side of Dark Immortals has been insane today, and you gotta give them their props. But the question is, if they continue this aggression, are we going to see the side of Team Saint come back? Because we see a lot of teams get a little too overconfident, and sometimes confidence breeds mistakes. And when you have these mistakes happen, this is something that the side of Team Saint kind of wants to bank on, right? They want you to be overly aggressive. They want you to continue to push in without a neutral objective so that they can get some kills, because they can always run back and heal up. But the side of Dark Immortals has to go back every time they take some serious damage, so you have to be careful on how you choose to engage going forward from here. But we are past past the 12-minute mark. So we are creeping from that mid to that late game. And now the question is, can the side of Team Saint hold off this aggressive tempo that Dark Immortals is performing today?
And while you say that, speaking of late game and things that come with it, right? Dark Immortals does have the composition to be able to go ahead and still edge out against Team Saint. We do know the Lantern, right? Flooring one of those scaling supports actually gets better as the game goes on. That Lantern probably fully evolved and sitting on carry almost full idle, definitely gonna make some super impact. But speaking of impact,
you do see manipulation going down by Eve, trying to take the members down. You do see a mega kill into Sensei taking out Martis, but wait a minute. Getting a shutdown onto Elusive to stack up that double kill, and then, oh my goodness, down goes Mike on this Beatrix to get the triple kill into the hands of Sensei Gi with the speedy light wheels. And man, oh man, now the power of the recall to do some additional damage to the Nexus. Can they get it? Looks like they are going for this finish. 13 minutes in. You do see Rock Bomba, you do see Jay. Can they get this ending? You see Vader with the Way the Dragon connecting into the base, but wait a minute. Vader taking some serious damage, going back. Gonna go ahead and heal up. Blessing of the Moon Goddess is now in effect as you are seeing Elusive back in the fight with this Estus. But Electo popped by Jay on the Benedetta. Now Force on the retreat. You do see Eve in the fight as well. But look at the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, they have done it. Dark Immortals takes game 1.
Victory!
taking game 1 and taking the heart away from Team Saint in this first match of the series. And I mean, I don't know, man. I have to give it to Dark Immortals. They were very creative with this draft, and the way they played it made it all make sense and come together. Obviously, at the start, we were kind of questioning about that floor and jungle, but here it is, 2-0-16. The MVP and definitely the heart and brain of Dark Immortals in that composition. Speaking of the heart, let's look at the stats and see who was kind of leading the way for them. As you see right there, 66% turret damage from Sensei G on that carry, able to find those towers, and we see him locking down that Nexus to go ahead and secure that victory. The damage pretty even split, does fall into the favor of Rock Bomba there on the Faramis, able to get it done with the sustainability and the damage for his team up against Team Saint in this first match of the series.
Man, oh man, what a game and an insane plan. And to be able to pull it off on top of that, I'm honestly speechless. I've never seen a Florian jungle, and to see it for the first time in the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy kind of makes me smile, right? That's history in the making, possibly new meta out. Who would have thought that a Florian jungle could get the job done? On top of that, against a Martis, not only a Florian, but a double support and a tank to top it off. That is a Faramis, that is a Florian, that is a Kufra, all in play. And man, oh man, did they make Team Saint pay. But that is not it. That is just one battle. They have to win the war, as this is a best of 3. The question is, how will Team Saint respond? Speaking of best of 3s, a little bit of a look at today's schedule. We are looking at currently Dark Immortals versus Team Saint. Team Saint taking a loss in game 1 to that double support meta, that Florian jungle, and that'll put a little bit of an advantage into the side of Dark Immortals for this series. Series 2, we are going to be looking at D-Gods versus Avalanche. Avalanche, a team we haven't really seen perform before. D-Gods, a team from the Wild Wild West, kind of making an appearance out of nowhere and dominating a lot of vet teams. Team Chubby, another first appearance. I'm excited to see how they kind of perform for Series 3. Going up against one of the crowd favorites, Nefarious, who led the way in the storm for King of the Hill yesterday with 4 wins in a row. Then to finish out today, we are doing a bonus series, Series 4. We are going to be watching Team Saficon go up against Idyllics, 2 newer teams into the MLSA, but 2 teams that know how to perform with that high elo, and I'm excited for every single match going forward today as we are climbing up and up that ladder, and these matches are going to get better and better. So, ladies and gentlemen, what does that mean? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you guys for Game 2. Hopefully Team Saint can have an answer, maybe get a game plan, and maybe possibly ban out the Florian jungle to win Game 2. Find out here shortly after this break.
You can travel the world to find yourself. But that journey must start at home. Because you can't know who you are without remembering your past experiences.
Basic is returning to Asia for his redemption. The BTK trio wants to prove M3 wasn't just a fluke, and Hoon looking to win back his fame.
I got basically kicked, but they still call me traitor for, I don't know, for pursuing my dream.
I thought leaving that comfort zone and then try new things was a better way for me to pursue the win.
We're coming and we're gonna compete. We're gonna put a fight, that's for sure.
I'm coming for you, M4.
This is what we have all been waiting for.
You push us, we push you back. You respect us, we respect you back. You doubt us, we will bleed to prove you wrong.
Everything on the line, right here, right now.
Definitely, they're not underestimating us as much as they did in M3. People probably see us and take us more seriously now, especially considering our accomplishment back then.
I want to be the first in the world. I want to win a world championship. And the only way to really do that is day in and day out, there's no relaxing. You have to keep going.
Here comes the Valley.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They've been talking to me on me. You know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories. And something that's gotta give. Cause this shit just what I made it now. I made it now. You can't ever break us down. Break us down. I'll be reaching for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not. And I'll never ever stop. Won't never stop. Yeah.
Touch your sky, you're made of silver and gold. Touch your sky, you're the greatest, don't you know? You and I can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fight in our eyes, and we are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, you take your aim, you know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me and telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I cut the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it proud. Don't let me down, don't let it up. I've been on the road, accomplished all of my goals. And I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch your sky, you're made of silver and gold. Touch your sky, you're the greatest, don't you know? You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. And fire in our eyes, and we are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, pick your aim, you know that this is.
Coming for the game, cause we ready for the victory.
No,
The sky is so vast, isn't it? My little flare.
Papa? Can you reach the sky and ignite the stars?
Of course, Honey Bunch.
Papa never returned home. He's among the stars now. But what about me?
Have faith, little flare.
Now this is a wonder to behold.
Time. Oh, it's time to make the most of the moment. I'm Hoon, I'm milling for the Valley, and I'm ready.
I graduated high school a few months ago. Yeah. We dare to be great.
Dude, that's perfect. One more second.
Hello, my name is Fly Chicken. I'm XP Lane from the Valley. Let's go.
Hey, it's basic. Again.
That's right. I like that.
We dare.
And action.
We dare to improve. Hey, it's basic. Coordinator for the Valley. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Land of the Dawn. We are the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy, and we are on Season 1, Week 6, Day 4. And man, oh man, speaking of Series 1 as well, and what a show. Seeing a Florian in the jungle for the side of Dark Immortals with the double support, the Faramis to top it off, and then the Kufra on the roam. And they were able to pull off that win on a Martis jungle, stacked up with an Estus. The Blessing of the Moon God is just not enough to handle that. Man, honestly, I thought it would have went the other way, so kudos over there for Dark Immortals, but like we said, this is a best of 3. So they've won one match. They got a little bit of momentum going forward, and the question is, how will we see the side of Team Saint respond? Speaking of sides, let's take a look at today's schedule, as we are having a bunch of series going down in the Land of the Dawn. We are looking at Series 1 currently, Dark Immortals versus Team Saint. Team Saint with the first loss, Dark Immortals with 1-0. Next up on the list, we do have D-Gods versus Avalanche for Series 2. Then Series 3 of the day, Team Chubby, a new team in the MLSA, comparing up against Nefarious, one of the team favorites. And then to finish off this series, we are going to be looking at Team Saphicon versus Idyllics. All of these are best of 3s, and not even just looking at the best of 3s. We have a bonus series today, and I'm excited to say we are doing a Series 4. And as we climb up this ladder, as we embark on the Land of the Dawn, these matches are only going to get better and better. Speaking of better and better, we are going to be jumping into this draft, but before we get into that, let's talk about these amazing casters on the desk. We have the play-by-play Coach Deku stepping up into the building, joined with the on-point analysis from El Manny. How you guys doing today?
Up, and your boy Poppy dropping in with your favorite coach, Deku, out here in the caster's desk. I'm excited. Are you excited, Deku?
No, I'm excited, man. I was out here casting over the first match, and it's looking to be another wild one right now. So we're seeing a lot of valuable picks on the board, a lot of high priority in between these two teams right now. And man, oh man, if the first match is kind of going to set the pace and set the tone for not only the series, but for the night, we have a lot going on. That Series 4 is not going to be the only bonus. We're going to be seeing this going in between all the teams tonight, but let's focus in right here in between these two teams. Team Saint up against Dark Immortals. The compositions are starting to lock in. We already have the complete picture from Team Saint. Just waiting for Dark Immortals. But Manny, looking at these compositions right now, tell me, man, who are you kind of leaning towards right now as you're seeing these compositions start to wrap up?
I will say this. I don't see a floor in jungle, so there's nothing to be terrified about. But I want to point out that they have an SB jungle here, and that is actually, I mean, if my hunch is right, nope, never mind, Fanny. Fanny is gonna be a problem, but over here, Elusive with that Grok pick, you know, Grok in itself is such a zone carry champ, so honestly, I can't decide whose draft I like more because both sides have an even balance when it comes to CC. But I do have to root for the side that has Kaja and Valentina. Valentina in itself is a strong pick. You can copy the enemy's ultimates. Right there, you can take the enemy set. On top with a pick from Kaja and the YZ dive, they have the perfect lineup for team fights. I do want to notice that these bans, they took out Clint and Claude. Claude, who is renowned for his anti-tank abilities, and Clint, who also has armored pen. So those were really good bans. They also took out the carry, so they really wanted to make sure that their beefiness was there, and they had no chance to counter that. But what are your insights here? What do you think? Who are you rooting for when it comes to the draft?
I mean, again, with the utility provided right here, I think it goes into the favor of Dark Immortals here, and I feel like the Joy pick, right? While I do think Joy is still good, still a little difficult to play around, I do feel like in the jungle, Joy is a lot easier to deal with as you are locked in to take that retribution. You can't take something like Vengeance that proves to be a little bit of an issue for a lot of teams going up against Joy. I do think her preferred lane would really be either in that XP or in that mid lane. I think jungle kind of nerfs Joy's gameplay ability. You have to focus more around neutrals and not so much about, you know, being that backline distraction for the most part when you're setting up for those contests. But speaking of setups here, Team Saint does have the Xavier, but we do have to note, right, the YZ is slotted in the jungle, so there's going to be a lot of interaction from the YZ up against Xavier over those neutrals as well. The Black Dragon form, it's going to be very hard for Hanako to be able to play safely with this Xavier. And speaking of playing safely as well, with the Kaja with that suppression, at any moment the Flicker and the Divine Judgment combo can come into play. Falling Star Moon from Jay as well. And not to mention, right, with the Valentina, the IMU can definitely steal that Dawning Light and send it right back at the members of Team Saint. So there's like a lot of utility from Dark Immortals and a couple answers to kind of crutch them. But speaking of crutch here, we are seeing Saint Laurent kind of dance around the litho, but not going to go anywhere too far with it. Does secure it, and without much contest here from the side of Dark Immortals.
I wanted to point out, like you said, you have made valid points. Dark Immortals is a very viable CC. They have a lot of utility with their entire composition. I was wrong with having Esme jungle. I think that would have been a better lineup since Dairat's a counter, but they went with it since I understand since YZ itself is a good pick with all the capability of utility he has, and not to mention that he can get to a team fight quick. So, and with that jungle emblem, that should cause team fights and objectives to be in their favor, just from that alone. I do want to point out that Dairat and who's their jungle? Oh, okay, Joy. My apologies, Joy. I thought it was Dairat jungle. Joy herself has no jungle emblem, so that right there means that they have the retry advantage because they have the stronger retry on Dark Immortal side, and they have better clearing for it when it comes to objectives. So we're gonna have to see how these team fights play out as Dark Immortal starts setting for the turtle.
I hear there about the team fights, but speaking of fights here, we are seeing Dark Immortals going for this turtle, but the response from Team Saint is going to be focused on the gold lane. The Mystic Field isn't going to connect. The barrier does come out. Flicker is forced from Beatrix, and now Saint Laurent going in, but there seems to be a little bit of miscommunication as the rest of the team from Team Saint has backed up as Dark Immortals picks up that turtle, so there will be no trade from the side of Team Saint, and you have to get it a little more cleaner, a little smoother. That was very choppy communication there from the side of Team Saint. Didn't make anything happen off of that trade, just losing out on that objective there. But speaking of losing out, right, I do kind of want to get into it. Dark Immortals, while they don't have a quote-unquote healer this time, we do have to note there's a lot of sustain innately between these picks. We know Valentina does have the sustain in her own kit. While it has been nerfed a bit, it is still there. It is still a component we have to factor in, as well as Kaja with the ring does get some sustain as well, especially since this Kaja will be tanked. There will be a lot of sustain coming out. Will not be able to be bursted out. We'll be able to use the sustainability that he has in the kit to go ahead and stay in those fights longer. The Shaw passive, the residue from YZ as well, able to heal up in those team fights. And then even Esmeralda with the shields, right? So there's almost every pick except Beatrix has some kind of sustainability. But speaking of sustainability, seeing a fight break out, wild charge, Dawning Light, not going to get much done here, but here comes St. Laurent, going to get killed by the Divine Judgment. And we talked about this. Very hard to play the Joy. Black Dragon coming out from this YZ, looking for the dive. He's going to find Laurent. No, not going to be able to get it. Got to jump back out with the Fury's dive, but in the back lane, we do see Bomba does find the kill on Dairoth there, XP down, and then even in the top side, we see another trade, though, as Brody's able to take down the Beatrix. So a 1-for-1 there, but a lot of pressure from Dark Immortals here, currently up in the advantage.
Now, I wanted to point out that during that entire escapade, they were pressuring the XP side. So it's interesting for me because most team strats, they would choke the gold lane right after the turtle. So it was really interesting that they went for the red invade, focused on getting their XP laner ahead and not focusing on their gold lane. Maybe they'll start shifting their focus now that the turtle's spawning on that side because, like I said, they're trying to make sure that their objectives are on point. The Team Saint, however, is trying to challenge for this team fight. So let's see how this goes.
Let's see how it goes indeed as the members are going in. We've seen the Furies die from Val and a return from Elusive, but it's not going to connect with the CC. Nibiru Passion coming out. Brody going to find the kill on Bomba here. Nibiru Passion from Sensei G. The turtle does fall into the hands of Kaja here. They're going to pick that up actually by the roamer. Neither jungler is going to secure that with the retribution, but a win is a win for Dark Immortals. That does go to their favor. They did lose a member there. Team State trying to keep it close. Currently, it's only 2-1 up there. They are down about 600 gold, but the match goes on. Manny, tell us a little more about these compositions, what you think. I've already kind of broke down myself. I feel like this was good. How are you feeling about these lineups?
Personally, I think that the lineups are going exactly how it was played out. You know, if we look at the items here, Beatrix should be farming properly. Yeah, she's not actually ahead in gold. Now, Brody did pick up a kill on her on a solo while Dark Immortals was invading the red side. But I want to point out that if she can get her gold lead ahead, and if they choke in that Brody, they can secure that lane and get the macro that they've been doing applied elsewhere. But choking that XP lane this early game, I think, is really a fault because not only are you letting your marksman get it behind, but you're giving Team Saint something to funnel around. That Brody's going to become a huge problem if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, Brody's up 2-0 right now, and that's from a lack of focus from the side of not from the side of Dark, but from the side of Dark there as well. So it's kind of like a tale of two there. Both of them need to kind of focus on these opposite sides. And speaking of focus on, we are seeing a solo rotation from the YZ, going to get met by the vision there provided by Elusive. But I do think it was interesting, like I said, on that XP, they did come in for the cut. Speaking of cut, we are seeing a cut scene on the replay here. If we're going to take a peek at this, that turtle, we did see that first neutral objective there. Double wild charge coming out from both teams, but only one getting the CC done. And then we're seeing the damage come out from Brody, picking up that second kill of his that we just pointed out. And then Turtle obviously going to the side of Dark Immortals. So a little back and forth between these two teams. It has been very even. But speaking of even, throughout this whole match, we haven't seen much advantage being taken out from either team. I think there was a kill. Another kill did fall into the hands of Brody there. I assume he took out the Valentina, as he does now have 3 kills. So Team State finding a way there, at least in their gold lane. XP is kind of lost out, very surprising. Dairoth kind of struggling in that lane up against Esme. He is 0-2. Currently the only member around for Team Saint for the turtle. But here comes St. Laurent able to dance his way, jukebox in for that steal with the retry, and just as fast as he took it, just as fast as he's going to get out. But speaking of getting out, M1K3 not going to find the way out. He does get taken down in the mid lane as a marksman down for Team Saint. So another quick trade for Dark Immortals. Like I said, both teams doing excellent on finding these trades and these little pockets of opportunity.
Now, that entire trade that they did was really good. I love the fact that Joy was able to go in there and sneak out. The anti-CC in between those dashes is so good, so clean. So that was very well played by St. Laurent over on Team Saint. Now, I do want to point out, they continue to keep choking this XP lane, and that's becoming a problem. The biggest bane is not letting their gold lane crash. Now, they did take the tower top, and now at this point, what I want to see is that since they want this XP lane so bad, take the cut mid, put more pressure in jungle, and let the marksman push to the sides at this point. Because
speaking of push, Vader not going to get pushed around. He's going to take take a member down in that 1v2. Still alive here. Jay does find the kill, but the XP laner being able to trade out a 2v1 is still ideal. That's still a great play from Vader, being able to take a member with him. Speaking of members taking, we are seeing Team Saint take a little bit of position in the mid lane. It looks like they're looking to crack this wide open at the hands of Brody, but Dark Immortal's not going to give this up for free. Here comes Menace Rage and Black Dragon coming in. Brody getting engaged by this YZ. Is going to find the stun on him, though. He's getting low. Mystic Field going to catch him. Dawning Light combination with the torn apart memory is going to get YZ out of here, sent to the Shadow Realm by the side of Team Saint.
Now, over on Team Saint's sides, that was very well played right there. They were just showing that they're not going to get pushed around anymore. You may have got us in this early game, but now it's coming to mid-game, guys. Showing that they can shine. They have their Brody that they can funnel around. I believe that Team Saint could come around and make themselves a bigger problem than they already showed in these little skirmishes. Over on Dark Immortal side, they continue on trying to get vision and getting picks for their jungle. Very well played on Dark Immortals. I do want to note that on these items, Beatrix rushed the Wind of Nature for these fights. Now that she might be losing a little bit of damage, but low-key smart because in these team fights, she's getting caught a lot in these picks. So very smart play there. Do still notice that Brody is still ahead in the lead by gold. Not by much, but speaking of, there's a huge team fight happening.
There is a fight happening. Beatrix is going to be taken by Darth. Wind of Nature not going to come into play here. The Eternal, her Lord, is going to contest, but there goes YZ able to secure it. And Black Dragon and now trying to find a way in. Furious Dive is coming down as Vader's looking to take him down, but not before YZ can take down Brock. Traded out immediately by Vader. Can't EXP, but can find the trade as Jay is also going to take him down. And 1K3 is pushing those towers, though. Off screens, remember the team center going to look at a disengage, but here comes the inhibitor push by Brody, focusing in on those objectives, and there's the recalls from the side of Dark Immortals. They're going to be forced to respawn there. They did pick up the Lord, but a lot of real estate falling to the hands of Team Saint there. Brody's finding 2 towers in that top side, the exact side that Lord is pushing down in. Speaking of pushing down, we're seeing Hanako with that Mystic Field, torn apart memory, and Dawning Light combination again is going to find Kaja there. Divine Judgment met the jury and executioner from the side of Team Saint there. Is Saint Laurent is also going to work down on this XP on the opposite side of the map up against this Esmeralda as the 3-man make that 4-member rotation to Team Saint is going to look to go ahead and meet this Lord head on.
Now, as we noticed, like I keep talking about, Brody is so hard ahead right now. Team Saints win condition, keep Brody alive, give him the best peel. Even though you're losing the macro at the moment, I believe these team fights that they keep having, despite Dark Immortals having the better kit setup, they are losing those team fights. They definitely need to focus this Brody and try to get him out of the picture.
Speaking of focus, we got a little bit of a team fight going on here. Here comes the Falling Star move from Esmeralda. Going to find 3 members with him. 1K3 with the Brody. Going to look to find damage. Wild Charge coming out. But speaking of damage, Vader caught in a rock, an uncomfortable position there as he dove a little too deep, a little overextended, isolating himself in front of 4 members of Dark Immortals and got taken out. Now, we are seeing Dark Immortals knowing that they do have the number advantage. It's going to keep the pressure down that bot side. But here's Sensei on the Beatrix up against St. Laurent. Jukebox coming out. Woo! St. Laurent, Dom 21 Savage. Do your thing as he does find the member of Dark Immortals, the marksman, has been taken out, but he's not done yet. Oh, but here comes the combination. Furious dive on top of the Falling Star Moon is going to get him out of there. Now, St. Laurent has exited the battlefield, but Kaja able to find a tower. And again, man, like we said, these teams are finding trades left and right, whether it's a kill or an objective. Nothing's really going for free too often in between Team Saint and Dark Immortals here.
I do want to point out, Team Saint only 1K gold behind Dark Immortals. Every time you notice when any of these teams clash, they're never more than 2K behind. They're very well farmed. They know how to rotate. Looking at these items, Brody, again, still ahead. Not by much. Actually, Beatrix just dethroned him in gold. So there you go. Beatrix picking up, getting those Haas claws in, getting Malefic in. Also, do want to point out that, Dark Immortals getting caught.
A combination meant to end the game. That wild charge and torn apart memory with that Dawning Light is going to find 2 members there. Dark Immortals, the fight over before it even started for them ahead of this Lord, but the fight not over. St. Laurent finding the background, looking for Beatrix yet again, letting the jukebox unleash, but gets caught, and the CC's Nibiru's passion going to take him out, but here comes M1K3, torn apart memory, not going to find the mark, doesn't have the connection, is not going to be able to trade that out. So, jungler down from Team Saint, they're not going to stop fighting. Barrier has came out, petrified as well. Dawning Light is going to find the fray as Brody is going to pick up the double kill on Jay and this Yu Zhang, but fight still not over as Hanako with that Mystic Field is going to go ahead and secure that last kill on the Beatrix. And what looked like the trade might have been going the wrong way, Team Saint quickly able to pick up the pace and turn it back around. Another Darling Light going out. Remember, the Team Saint are going to keep working on this Lord. No junglers are on the battlefield. This is a risky play from both teams. Elusive is low. The front line is dropping, but here it goes. They're still going to go for this. Will Soy 2 be able to contest? No, Brody's going to be able to pick that up, but the fight is still going to keep going on. But no, the Dawning Light in that Mystic Field, and again, the Torn Part memory. That's the third time we've seen that combination. Is going to take down the marksman on the side of Dark Immortals there, but fight still not over. Hanako and Brody combining for another kill, and are we seeing a new combo, a new synergy, as Brody and Xavier have been hitting the mark time and time again for Team Saint, bringing this match closer. But oh, speaking of closer, Furious dive from YZ, gonna find Brody shut down, going to the hands of Beatrix, and that's huge for some gold for Dark Immortals marksman to be able to get back into this game. Still action going on here. Barrier coming out. They have caught YZ alone. Gonna force the Black Dragon with that Dawning Light as well. He's gonna be pushed back to the base as Lord is pushing up for the side of Team Saint. Right now, they can look to take a lot of towers here, but it's like they're going to put all their eggs in one basket and look for the top inhib. The charge pass from Lord coming out. One shot with Bennett Rage as well. Not going to be able to stop it, but here comes Falling Star move from Jay. Soy 2 with the conceal. Maybe looking to find a play here. This is just going to go ahead and back off. There was nothing readily available, and now a tier 2 in the mid maybe being taken, though. Remember, the Team Saint have got what they came for. They've cracked open the base officially. They have found an inhibitor, and that's a huge win for the side of Team Saint.
Oh man, so much going on. Team Saint snowballing really hard. Like I pointed out, Brody just snowballing like crazy. Their team knows exactly what their win conditioner is. They got to Brody, securing the road. Now they were supplying the macro. Like you said, they cracked open the egg right there in the base. Now they get super minions applying that pressure, and they can apply that macro somewhere else. Dark Immortals falling apart a little bit, but don't cut them up too hard. As they get
falling apart. Speaking of falling apart, the wall charge there to take down the YZ, another member down from the side of Dark Immortals. Down a member, and Team Saint could look to force this. They could look to push. The issue here is they do have the numbered advantage, but it looks like they're going to chill. It's like they're going to vibe in the land at dawn and maybe set up for something else here. But it is very interesting right now. Dark Immortals, I did point out at the start, right, they had a lot of utility, but not a lot of damage right now. And looking at the replay, speaking of the damage, that new Wombo combo in the Land of Dawn, Brody and Xavier has been the winning recipe for Team Saint in these fights. The Torn Apart Memory and the Dawning Light combination, the Mystic Field and the stuns have been winning them a lot of fights. They're just going to have to tighten up a little bit as far as the positioning. We have seen Brody maybe feeling himself just a little bit. He does have an insane KDA right now, a wild stat line sitting at 10-2-2. St. Laurando finding Rock Bomba in the midst of this. The Jukebox Unleashed has been letting them feel the music, feel the beats in the Land of Dawn, as Brody's going to pick up that tier 2, but here comes the flicker and the Divine Judgment. Not going to find the kill, though. They have not been able to capitalize. Here comes Black Dragon, though. It looks like Dark Immortals doesn't want to give that up, but they're going to turn their attention over to St. Laurent, who is pushing the top side, but nothing going to come much of it. That is a joy with the mobility, able to go ahead and get up out of the mix.
Oh, speaking of getting out of the mix, TS might go here. Let's talk about that. Yes, he might have outpositioned himself there, but the fact is, him and Hanako have been beautiful in their combinations together. Team Saint very well zoning this Lord, making sure that they're secure, their backline secured with their roam. Another team fight happening over this aid evade over the blue, and they were able to cleanly get out with no loss. Very well played by Team Saint. Give you that. Dark Immortals, I believe that they need to, like they said, Kaja went in for that flicker on Brody, hoping that his team can capitalize. That was a good try. I believe trying again might work, but you need to have the Valentina grab that Gracco. If you can get him into a set and stun them all for a surprise combination, I believe that would be the best bet. But let's see what happens during this defense with Turtle, if they're going to end or not.
That's the Lord, the enhanced Lord for the side of Team Saint, pushing down in the top side. It doesn't look like they're going for too much wave sinkage, as there's not a lot coming in, so they might be banking all in again for the Lord. They may be a little confident, but here comes the flicker. Wall charge, not going to connect with any members there, not going to find the set, but someone caught in the background there. Dawning Light coming out, and the members of the St. Line Barrier coming out, and Lord being worked on. That's a great defense from Dark Immortals. They're able to split the fight. Mystic Field, though, going to catch Jay. Torn Apart Memory combination, not going to get it done on Jay, as Murder will survive. Great defense from Dark Immortals, and I have to say from Team Saint, the macro should have been there. I do believe they should have went for the wave sinkage and be able to crack open the rest of these inhibitors and let that Lord kind of push the pace and apply that pressure. But speaking of pressure, the fight's not over between these two teams. Terrified coming out. Brody's taking dangerously well. They can look for the fight. Dawning Light coming out, but is that enough to stop the onslaught from Dark Immortals? The Divine Judgment is going to find the Dire off here. Not going to find a kill just yet, though. Abysm Strike coming out. Combination from Grok with the Elusive. They're going to pop the Immortality of Jay. Will they complete the kill? Yes, potentially. No! The Mystic Field did stun him. Dawning Light not going to catch him, but Sensei going to catch Vader on that EXP, and now St. Laurent bit off a little more than he could chew. They cut off the music and take him down. Dark Immortals finding a way now after that defense, able to find some kills as well in that trade with no members falling down in that fight. A clean 2-for-0 trade for Dark Immortals.
Oh my gosh, that defense was perfect. As we were just talking about that they needed a defense, they went in there, all guns blazing, made sure their backline was peeled for. Perfect sustainability from both their peel and their roam, and they still want more. They were going in aggressively for another engagement here mid.
Absolutely, we're seeing the Black Dragon come in. Here comes Furious Dive, Nibiru Passion, a wild charge from the IMU. Trying to find something, doesn't get the kill, but here comes the Dawning Light and Mystic Field, not going to get the kill, but they do find a tower from the side of Dark Immortals, slowly but surely chipping away at the game plan of Team Saint. And I'm not going to lie, if this swings back to Dark Immortals, we're going to have to bring it back to that Lord, not sinking those waves. That might be the defining moment if Dark Immortals can be able to find this comeback. But speaking of comeback, look at the fight. After that incredible Lord defense, we can see them. This is a very long, drawn-out fight, but a lot of action happening on Jay getting caught out with that immortality, almost getting taken down, but the Nibiru Passion providing great cover as they got Vader taken out. Met Anakin Skywalker there as Sensei was able to take down the St. Laurent. The joy there, putting a little bit of sadness on the side of Team Saint there, doing some good job from Dark Immortals being able to defend and then win these team fights as well. But speaking of team fights, we do see Rock Bomba was taken out. Not sure we got the kill here, but speaking of kills, we do see Immortality pop on this Beatrix, or not Beatrix, the Dire off there, again getting taken out. And here comes Soy 2. All the members from Dark Immortals seem to be getting isolated here in some 1v1s, a 2v1 here. St. Laurent's going to find the kill number advantage for Team Saint, and they can now sandwich in on Jane. It's like they will do that Dawning Light combination, and Brody as well doing a little bit of damage. Not going to find the kill, but it's going to make him back. Now they can force their attention over to the Lord Sentry coming out from Dark Immortals, going to give themselves some vision, see where they can make the correct rotation. Here comes Beatrix as well, stepping up behind the members, but this might have been a misplay. Dawning Light going to find the immortality. He's going to get taken out by Elusive here, a shutdown by the Grok, and there goes YZ. Members falling left and right. All members down except Esmeralda, and they can go ahead and decide to go for the end potentially here, and it looks like they will. They will make the call to force the mid inhibitor. Falling Star Moon, but it's going to be met by the Dawning Light. The mid inhibitor is getting dropped low. They are going to take it. Mystic Field going to catch Esmeralda here. CC stacked up by Brody. Well, Immortality is not readily available as Hanako is going to take down Esmeralda, but here comes Rock Bomba looking for the flicker. Out for Nexus is going to lock down. Dawning Light doing a lot of damage, and now he's up the target. The Nexus is going to fall down. Team Saint battling, going to even up the series 1-1 and almost losing their grip to Dark Immortals, able to get control yet again.
Oh my gosh, beautiful, powerful match right there. Like I said, the Brody snowballed, went in there. They knew their win condition. He even went in the end of the game. They had beautiful rotations. Dark Immortals as well, beautiful rotations. They all capitalized on their strengths, and Team Saint just came up right on top. Very well played, GG's.
Definitely very well played, GG's. Man, oh man, that was an insane game. A little bit of that breakdown, both of them just kind of fighting it out, but just definitely some good synergy. I know we looked at a little bit of that replay in one of those fights going forward, as you were seeing Team Saint just on the rise with that pressure, trying to remain in this game. And man, oh man, were they able to pull it off, but it was tricky, right? Looking at the side of Dark Immortals, they were very close to kind of evening up the scoreboard, but or not evening up, but getting a sweep. So I got to go ahead and give them the credit on that, and that is going to be currently 1-1. So both of these teams currently tied up, and I'm excited to see what is going to happen going forward. Now, I don't know. Definitely place you guys' votes. Let us know who you guys think will take the game. And some good casting over there from El Manny and also Coach Deku. I just got to say, these matches as we're climbing up this ladder, they're getting better and better. These teams are ready to compete, and you're just seeing them like on the rise each and every step of the way. But like we said, 1-1 right now. It is a best of 3, and the question is who will finish off the series. Speaking of series, let's take a look at today's schedule. Currently, we are watching Dark Immortals versus Team Saint. Both teams with 1 win under their belt, needing 1 more win to finish off the series. Then we are moving on to D-Gods versus Avalanche. Avalanche, a brand new team in the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy, going up against D-Gods, a team from the Wild Wild West, the revampage on Demigods. And then another new team coming out of nowhere, Team Chubby, is going to go up against the crowd favorite Nefarious, that team that is known for holding those titles in King of the Hill recently with 4 wins in a row just yesterday. And then to finish off today, we have a bonus series, a Series 4 with Team Sapphicon versus Idyllics, 2 new teams in the MLSA who have been competing in Week 6, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table going forward. So, speaking of the table, grab some food, get some popcorn, and be ready, as we are going to be jumping into the 3rd game for Series 1 momentarily.
You can travel the world to find yourself. But that journey must start at home. Because you can't know who you are without remembering your past experiences.
Basic is returning to Asia for his redemption. The BTK trio wants to prove M3 wasn't just a fluke, and Hoon looking to win back his fans.
I got basically kicked, but they still call me traitor for, I don't know, for pursuing my dream.
I thought living that comfort zone and then try new things was a better way for me to pursue the win.
We're coming and we're gonna compete. We're gonna put a fight, that's for sure.
I'm coming for you, M4.
This is what we have all been waiting for.
You push us, we push you back. You respect us, we respect you back. You doubt us, we will bleed to prove you wrong.
Everything on the line, right here, right now.
Definitely, they're not underestimating us as much as they did in M3. People probably see us and take us more seriously now, especially considering our accomplishment back then.
I want to be the first in the world. I want to win a world championship. And the only way to really do that is day in and day out. There's no relaxing. You have to keep going.
Here comes the Valley.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They been talking to me on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now, made it now. You can't ever break us down, break us down. I'll be speechless for the stars. Promise show me what they not, and I'll never ever stop. Won't never stop, yeah.
Touch the sky, you're made of silver and gold. Touch the sky, you're the greatest, don't you know? You and I can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fighting our eyes on me are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Dedicated to your end, you know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me and telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I kept the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now. I just wanna make it proud. Don't let me down, don't let it all fall. I'm on the road, accomplish all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch the sky,
victory.
The sky is so vast, isn't it? My little flare.
Papa? Can you reach the sky and ignite the stars?
Of course, Honey Bunch.
Papa never returned home. He's among the stars now. But what about me?
Have faith, little flare.
Now this is a wonder to behold.
Time. Oh. It's time to make the most of the moment. I'm Hoon, I'm mid lane for the Valley, and I'm ready.
I graduated high school a few months ago. Yeah. We dare to be great.
Dude, that's perfect. One more second.
Hello, my name is Fly Chicken. I'm XP lane from the Valley.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of the Dawn. We are the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy, and man, oh man, what a series for the first one of the day today. That's right, it is Season 1, Week 6, Day 4, Series 1, Match 3. This is a best of 3, and both teams already have one win on the board. But before we get into these teams, let's get into the schedule for the day. Currently, we are on Series 1 and Season 1. Dark Immortals versus Team Saint on Match 3, as it was a 1-for-1, an eye for an eye in the Land of Dawn today. And the question is, who will prevail to take the series? Moving on to Series 2, we will be seeing D-Gods versus Avalanche. D-Gods, a team from the Wild Wild West that has been known to take out some of these vet teams for the MLSA and slowly making their way to a vet team in the MLSA. And they are going up against a brand new team who we have not seen before, Avalanche. So I know I'm super excited to see what they bring to the table today. Speaking of the table, we have Chubby, a new team as well, going up against Nefarious, a team that one of our casters is currently on, Eunice, and the team that's known to kind of wreak havoc in King of the Hill, especially yesterday with 4 wins in a row. But they are going to get up against Team Chubby, and I haven't really seen them play before, so that's going to be an interesting match indeed, as you never know what tricks they have up their sleeves. Speaking of tricks, speaking of sleeves, Series 4, Team Savcon versus Idyllics, 2 new teams, again, that have just started competing in Week 6 for the MLSA, and they are ready to bring that competition down. But enough about that. Enough about the schedule. Let's talk about this game. Best of 3, Match 3, Series 1, Dark Immortals versus Team Saint. And I'm currently joined on the desk by Master Room with the on-point analysis. I will be doing the play-by-play to lead the way, so definitely buckle your seatbelts as this is going to be a bumpy ride in the Land of Dawn. How you doing today, Rim?
I'm hyped from the performances I've seen in Game 1 and Game 2. We saw some amazing plays and picks coming out from these two teams in the past drafting. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen for the big Series 1 finale, right? And speaking of big things, we do see that big dragon getting locked in there on that Yuzong, paired up with that bird, you know, Kaja, elusive, locking in that pick off and that dive composition. Speaking of composition, though, Soy locking in that for Ramus, which we all know adds a lot of sustain. Even though he did get nerfed, we've seen teams be able to work around that nerf, and actually it kind of encouraged teams to build their synergy and their roaming together as a team in unison. So as long as they can pull that off, it's definitely still a very strong pick. Speaking of strong picks, we do see some of them getting picked off, which were allowed in previous games. A little bit of a respect ban, though, coming from the side of Team Saint, banning that Kufra, because we all know the side of Dark Immortals has been having some impactful plays. And I want to mention, though, right, that Kufra pick, his sets, I don't know if y'all noticed, but the way that he combos his ultimate as well as his charge skill with that flicker has definitely been such a surprise and sneak attack, and it definitely did not bring the side of Team Saint any joy. And as you see, she's also banned out. So very good bans coming from both sides right now. Weezy, first half of the draft is completed. We're in the second draft. Who are you rooting for right now in terms of these picks?
Hard to tell so far, but there are a couple things I like from both sides, right? If I start for the side of Dark Immortals, they have Benedetta, one of my favorite XP lanes, able to get the job done, split push capability, going for those neutral objectives, and also has a little bit of sustainability into her kit as well. We've seen her kind of dominate even inside of M4, a lot of teams picking up that Benedetta and making it work. Speaking of Benedetta, that was the team, who was that? Which team was it? RRQ, Akira with Takashi on that Benedetta. That's the team that beat the Valley, so you definitely know it works. So but one thing they did lack is CC. Rock Bomb is going to go ahead and pick up that Vexana, though, to kind of provide some of that. And then down goes Belleric with the Wrath of the Druid to combo with it. Now, am I a big fan of Rock Bomb on the Vexana? I'm not sure, but maybe they'll sway my decision. One thing that Dark Immortals is known for is these wild card picks, and able to pull them off. They did pull off a Florian Jungle, so I don't know what to expect from their team anymore. But I know one thing, they definitely know how to get the job done. Now, answering back or circling back around to your question, for the side of Team Saint, I do like the fact that they have that Kaja, that Divine Judgment to grab that backline. They have this Cloud for the late game damage. They have Vader can XP on the Yuzong. If I wasn't going to go Benedetta, I would definitely go YZ, and I think it's a very good answer jumping into the Benedetta. Team Saint also with Saint Laurent is going to go ahead and lock in that additional CC, that tanky jungle Akai to get the job done with those heavy spins. That's a solid front line. And then to top it off, you have the AoE damage from the Feathered Airstrike and the Wings by Wings to use a little bit of mobility in the kit for Hanako. And I think overall it is a very solid draft. So I think with both teams done, currently drafting and about to embark into the Land of the Dawn, I think this is going to be a battle of synergy. It's going to be a battle of being able to pull off your composition. I think both have a very solid lineup. Beatrix is going to be going up against M1K3 on that Clyde. M1K3 is has to get to the late game to kind of pop off, get that Demon Hunter Sword as well, to kind of burst down the beefiness of that Belleric. And also you are running into a Faramis with the Cult Altar, which kind of can negate all the damage that he does go in with. So definitely placement on this ultimate, on this utility is going to be huge if they do want to have an answer in winning this game. But I don't know. I feel like so far, both these teams have been full of surprises. They're currently 1-1. This is a best of 3, and they've both shown they have what it takes to take the win. And like we said, I think it's just going to be down to the wire. It's going to be down to a clash. It's going to be down to the synergy and prioritization of objectives.
Absolutely, and honestly, I'm a Vexana enthusiast, right? So I just want to shout out Rakamba for locking in that Vexana, and it's actually a pretty solid pick, right? Because looking at the side of Team Saint here, they have the Farsa, they have Saint Laurent on this Akai with this heavy spin, as well as M1 on this plot, right? three of those ultimates can be, if not canceled, semi-interrupted by knockups. And we all do know that Vexana's ultimate provides that AoE knockup as well as the additional damage. And we can't discount her revamp. That first skill, this shared CC that is able to provide and be split amongst the enemy team as long as they're close-knit. And if you look at these teams, right, they do have very solid and close-knit team fight composition. So you want to be close in order to secure these pickoffs. So I do like the utility and damage that's coming in from that pick alone. But it's like you said, it's down to execution. Speaking of execution, we see something happening here on the top side.
Possible engagement on the way. The Terrify onto Elusive. Gonna go ahead and try and escape, but wait a minute, a flicker play gonna go ahead and try and get the kill. Yes, he does. Faramis with the Shadow Stampede pulls him down and does that magic burn, and down he goes. That is first blood into the hands of Dark Immortal. Only 1 minute in, but you have to kind of watch out, as we know even one kill can be the difference in winning this early game. Taking that advantage as both teams are racing for the level 4 to have the utility to take that turtle, the first neutral objective on the board.
And it's like I was saying, they have to give some respect to the Terrified coming out from this Vexana. Look at the damage that she's able to dish out here.
Yeah, a lot of damage, and we gotta give some credit over there to Rock Bomba on that Vexana, and also Soy on this Faramis. That Shadow Stampede always pulling them to the right place for these engagements. But speaking of engagements, Turtle going into the hands of iPost on the Belleric. Jay getting a kill onto St. Laurent. Down goes the jungle for the side of Team Saint. You are seeing Co-Alter activated as well. Jay getting a kill, gonna go ahead and take down Yuzong in that engagement, and that is a 3-for-none trade. 2 for none on the Turtle, but also winning a kill prior to it as well, and a very good start for Dark Immortals.
I'm gonna be focusing on the synergy I'm seeing from Rock Bamba and Soy here. When you pair those two heroes up, they have insane wave. We're seeing how smoothly they're able to rotate and apply pressure, especially to this top side. And Claude is one of those marksmen that has the potential to counter the entire team of Team Saint here, right? But speaking of counters,
you do see that Undead Knight going in, the Eternal Guard, gonna try and take out Hanako, but not able to make it into that tier 2 tower, and that's gonna allow her to recall. But yeah, 3-0 right now, and you gotta play a little bit safer from Team Saint, as you don't want that snowball to happen. Speaking of snowball, down goes Namir's Passion with the combination of the Shadow Stampede, but an answer back from M1K3 with the Blazing Duet. It's gonna go ahead and take out Faramis, and that is 2 kills now so far. You are seeing St. Laurent getting a kill into Rock Bomba as well. And man, oh man, these are some good plays, but slowly evening out the board as it is now 3-2. You do see Feather Airstrike with the heavy spin onto the wall, and that is St. Laurent picking up that kill onto Beatrix. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3-3, but they are overstaying their welcome. You do see Soy trying to burst down this minion, and M1K3 not even worried about attacking him. Just gonna go ahead and strip out all that gold from that tower.
Teams are definitely going at it, and they're definitely using their team compositions to their full potential here. Speaking of potential, I want to see what these items are giving, because it's definitely helping them throughout this match. We do see Claude already able to lock in his first core item, as well as the Yuzhonger. So Team Saint is definitely getting those items, and we do see Benedetta as well having that even matchup, picking up this Bloodlust Axe, and we're definitely going to see some Bloodlust happening for this turtle.
You do see Black Dragon popping down, gonna go ahead and hit the Petrify. Saint getting the turtle. Vader on the Yuzong's gonna go ahead and take out Faramis. A knock up over there with that dive as well. Vader getting another kill on to Rock Bomba. You do see Hanako trying to get a kill. You do see 3v1 situation. Hanako is able to burst down Beatrix, but in the top side, you do see that Eternal Guard. You see that Undead Knight trying to get a kill as well, doing some damage. And man, oh man, 7-3. What a turnaround right now for the side of Team Saint. And this is what we said. This can all go down to just one engagement to tip the scales in the battlefield.
The side of Dark Immortals has been applying so much pressure on this top side, right? Because like I was saying, that slotting in the Claude outside of Team Saint, that Blazing Duet has the ability to melt every resource that the side of Dark Immortals has at their disposal. He can pierce through that cold altars. That second chance at life can be, disrupted so fast And when you look at Vader on this Yu Zhang as well, that's able to just dive in. Speaking of diving, we do see a concealed play happening here on the bot side, but not really much that they can get out of it. So they're kind of like, just stepping back. But I do like the responses that I'm seeing from Dark Immortals. Even though they lost their lead, they still are keeping up their momentum. Speaking of momentum being kept.
You do see a possible pickoff on the way for members of Team Saint going in. Speaking of going in, you do see the Feather Airstrike answered by Cole Alter. Hanako getting a kill onto Rock Bomb, but down goes Vexana. You see Dragon Tail unable to hit the mark on to Soar. Ring of Order over there by Elusive on this Kaja. Not able to hit the mark either. But look at the zonage right now from that Undead Knight, that Eternal Guardian, just playing that frontline tank. But speaking of tank, St. Laurent trying to get a kill on to Jay. But it's going to go ahead and try and take out these minions to save that tower. And man, oh man, you are seeing the over-aggressive right now, leaning more into the favor of Team Saint. Soul Grip connecting with the Dragon Tail. Is going to proc the Shaw Essence. Sensei Gi forced to recall. And the question is, will this allow a possible push on this tower? As Vader has no one to contest, as it looks like the focus right now is on this turtle, as the aggro has been pulled over there by iPulse with the 3v2 situation. Vader, with a little bit of pills, going to force them to kind of slowly disengage, but both teams battling over custody for this turtle right now. Black Dragon is in the air. And speaking of the air, Feathered Airstrike going down. Jay getting the turtle for the side of Dark Immortals right now. Dragon Tail going in. Jay getting a kill on to the Claude. Sword's gonna get a kill as well, taking out Vader. Man, oh man, these teams are out for blood, forcing the Conceal out for Team Saint to retreat. And you are seeing the side of Dark Immortals trying to close this game out, trying to take some real estate. They are going for this tier 3 tower, and the question is, can they get it? Yes, they can, into the hands of Soy on this Faramis. And man, oh man, some beautiful synergy. Even though they were down on kills, they're able to translate this into objectives in these engagements.
That's what you want to see, right? We want to see these teams being able to have an answer to the questions that the opposite team is being able to ask them here. Speaking of answers,
you do see that Shadow Stampede pulling St. Laurent, but 3v2 situation as Vader has joined the fight, and they do not want no problems with the Sith Lord. They are going to go ahead and push off of that. And this is what I love about Yu Zhang. He has some sustainability in his kit. He can rush in, he can proc that Shaw Essence, that Furious Dive, that Shadow Tail, to be able to proc that and give him some life still to stay in these heavy fights. And also that Black Dragon, not to mention. But if there's two fighters I like seeing in the XP lane, it's definitely going to be a Benedetta and a Yu Zhang. I honestly think they're both some really good heroes that gets the job done. But speaking of getting the job done, that is tier 3 tower falling into the hands of Dark Immortals. Speaking of falling though, Heavy Spin trying to get a pin onto the wall, force the Cole Alter out by Soy right there. They are going for the engagement. Electo final blow going in by Jay, not able to hit the Shadow Slash, so Hanako's gonna go ahead and get a kill with the Feather Airstrike onto Beleric. Both teams clashing out in tier 2 turret. Rock Baba taking out Farza. Sensei go ahead and connecting, taking down Kaja. Down goes their sustainability, their roam with that Divine Judgment, as he is not in play, but they are winning in these trades, as that was only one member down for 2. Speaking of down though, you are seeing turrets fall on the opposing side as Vader pushes in that tier 2 turret.
And that's what you want to see, right? And you want to be able to have a trade-off somewhere on the map. And we're seeing that happening from both these teams here. But speaking of seeing things happening, I did see some items getting picked up from both sides here. We do see Faramis locking in that cooldown reduction, definitely going to help his team be able to sustain. Beatrix locking in that Haswa is going to add some sustainability to herself as well. We do see Kaja locking in that Athena shield, as we all know that Vexana, Rakbamba has been being able.
And we're wondering who is going to win this game, as it is 1-1 right now.